y'all know who it is, Mr. DK himself. We are here at Vintage Duck, where we're going to interview one of the owners of Vintage Duck, Mr. Sean Woods. First and foremost, we want to say thank you for coming and sitting with us, bro.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it, man. So, my first question for you, bro, is how did Vintage Duck and also the partnership between you and Travis Tarpley come about?
Alright, so Travis at this time was in Philadelphia. He was still playing Arena League football, and so the brand kind of came about was I was in the Marine Corps first. So our emblem in the Marine Corps is the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor.
Okay.
And that means that we operated on land, air, and water. So when I was trying to put the brand together, it was something that I was trying to put together that had some meaning to myself, and as well I could translate it and say, hey, to my customer, this can mean something to you as well.
Right.
So as I was putting it together, I was over at the Riverwalk Trail and seeing a group of ducks, and some were in the water, some on land, and some were kind of just, you know, grazing, flying. Yeah. And I was like, light bulb came on. I said, well, damn, land, air, and water. So I said, man, let me go back and let me see what I can do with this duck. Start doing some research, boom, 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 boom. Start reading up on different things about the duck and what they mean to people in different cultures, things of that nature. And I came up with the versatility, adaptability, and progressiveness. And so the duck actually derived from the versatility, adaptability, and progressiveness, but it was born from the land, air, and water aspect of the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor.
Yeah.
And that was the personal part of it that it was for me. And then I translated it to be able to speak to the consumer as well with the versatility, adaptability, and progressiveness. And so Travis was a young go-getter, fierce, and so I had this idea brewing, and it was just a logo drawn on paper. And I had these other ideas about the meaning behind it, and so I reached out to Trav and I was like, look, man, when you gonna be back in town? I got something I want to show you because I think it could be a dope brand. Right. So when he came back in town, we sat down, had this big round wooden table downstairs, man, and we sat down. I had a bottle of, I think it was maybe 1942 or 1738 or something like that, man. But we poured us a glass of that and we just got to talking about it. Right. And so we started building it from there, and then, man, Vintage Duck brand became, Vintage Duck brand. The lettering, the icon, and all those things became the icons. The first shirt became the first shirt. Yeah. Because initially, a lot of people don't know this. The first duck that we ever did was actually a Vera Bradley pattern.
Okay, so what's the Vera Bradley pattern?
So Vera Bradley was a lady who made all these different paisley patterns that she uses in purses, pocketbooks, and all these things, right? Right. And so we just did it like, all right, we're gonna make like 30 shirts. And man, like that joint started taking off, and we was like, we gotta pull this pattern, bruh, and we gotta have one made for us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, man, ain't no copyright infringements and none of that, you know what I'm saying? So we pulled that pattern quick. I reached out to a young man, which it was, man, difficult to find. Found him out in London, and he made this paisley pattern that you have right here. Wow. Which is actually our house paisley pattern. Okay. So that was hand drawn for the brand, and so here we are now, and steadily trying to, grow the brand, and that's kind of how the brand started, what the brand meant, and how me and Travis kind of came together.
So, what led to the accomplishments? Well, what accomplishments have you all had that led you all to this position within the city as a black-owned business?
Well, I think that first of all, everybody's definition of success and what accomplishment is and things of that nature is different. Like, and it's crazy to hear me say this, but I don't feel like we've been successful at this point, bro. I'm so hungry, man. Like, and I know the ceiling that the brand has, and we ain't even reached 5-10% of that yet.
Yeah.
And so, but you have to start somewhere, because, you know, we wasn't funneling in, you know, thousands of dollars. We didn't have $200,000 to start a brand with, man. We had what we had, which was about $1,500.
Right.
And we did what we could with the $1,500, the stuff that was necessary to do.
Yeah.
And then we bought like 30 shirts, gave half of them away, and then kind of pushed out. But I think what I'm more proud about is how the brand goes and does things like the autism awareness and kind of gives back to different entities. You know, Trav is real heavy in the community with working with the kids, and we try to imply and express the motives and the movements behind the Vintage Duck brand as well with the kids, because those things are kind of big, man. Like, you listen to the words versatility, adaptability, and progressiveness, and you're like, oh man, those are just words. But in order to be somebody who is a thinker of multiple things, you have to allow yourself to be versatile.
Right.
Or you stick yourself in this one lane.
Yep.
And so, and adapting to being a person who's a thinker of many things, adapting to those things, you have to say, okay, I'm going to be able to do this, I'm going to be able to do that, I'm going to be able to do this. Now, each one of those things are not going to be easy.
Yeah.
Something may be hard for you, and so what we tend to do when something gets a little hard for us, we tend to run back from it instead of running through it. And so that's what the adaptability is, because when something gets hard for you, adapt to it.
Yeah.
Don't run from it, adapt to it.
Yeah.
And then the progressiveness is you progress through those things that you're doing, make sure you finish those things strong. And so you hear versatility, adaptability, and progressiveness, and I know they see that on social media, we pumping that out. Mm-hmm. But it's a mind state. It's a mind state. We want people to buy into that mind state, to be versatile, be adaptable, and be progressive. But we want to start doing more things like that in the community, as far as pushing the mindset and helping people grow their mindset, because personal development changes a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not personally developing yourself on a daily basis, then your growth potential is very minimal. You know what I'm saying?
True. Very true.
And so you have to grow yourself. You have to read. You have to grow. You can't keep sitting in the same box. So I think that one of my biggest accomplishments is having a brand that actually have a message that says things like that. And so as long as my brand continues to speak those type of volumes,
yeah,
then I'm gonna always be proud of what we're doing, because we're more than a clother. We're motivators, we inspirers. We want for people to be great. We want for people to achieve great things. And in order to do that, you gotta personally develop yourself to achieve those things. And I think that our brand speaks that message.
So Sean, I know we have dabbled in and out about Vintage Duck, you know, the principles and the mission and the goals behind Vintage Duck. I want to get back to you, knowing that a lot of things you've done, you know, as far as creating the brand, the logo, and certain things like that, providing connections. What do you consider yourself as? Because you could be a stylist, you could be, I've seen you become all different types of things. So what all are you? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. You've seen it firsthand, because we work with you on photo shoots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I right now I have to wear many hats. And you know, it's something that you have to do when you're first starting off as a brand.
Right.
I mean, because a lot of the job roles that I'm playing, people pay people $40,000, $50,000 a year to do them.
Yeah.
And so right now, I have to wear those hats. Travis has to wear those hats until we can establish ourselves in a place where we can have somebody come in.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fully ready to be able to direct those things towards somebody else. Just like, bring me the goods back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then from there, I'll say, hey, look, I don't like that. go back to the drawing board on it. You know,
Yeah.
I'm more than ready to do that. And I think that over the next year, over the next 2 years, we'll be able to position ourselves in a place where we can do that. Because I ultimately want to be CEO.
Yeah.
And so when you have a business like this, you have to start to figure out who are you in the business, and that's something that we can really get lost in. Because when you have a small business, you have to be the worker, you have to be the thinker, and then you have to be the entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to work my way to being an entrepreneur. Right now, you know, we have to be the worker, we have to be the thinker, and we have to be the individual that gets the logistics and things out. But I want to be the entrepreneur. I want to run the business, not let the business run myself. And so, in that state, I want to be the entrepreneur, and I want to run a business. I want for my business not to run me, because when your business starts running you, it doesn't get fun anymore. Right now, it's still fun.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I'm doing something I love to do, and so when I'm able to have the business run itself,
Yeah.
then I'll be a very happy guy, because that means that now I can collect some passive income.
Some residual.
Yeah, some residual, man. Yeah, some passive income, man. So, but yeah, that's one of the things that I consider myself. But right now, man, I can do it all, man. I'll put on the hat, and that's if people ain't saying I'm living versatile, adaptable, and progressive, then hey, man, I'm living proof of it, man. Cause I do it all. You see, these lights that's shining, man. I done came and set up photo shoots in here, not knowing a second about how to take a picture, and went and downloading them to Photoshop and made them look good and clean by looking at YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But so I'm a monster, man, when it comes to just learning things that knowledge is out there to learn. I'm a monster at that.
Yeah.
And I don't think nobody gonna outwork me as far as doing that, because I'm looking for the information. And when I find the information, man, I'm absorbing it. I'm looking for the information all the time. So I feel like that if you ain't out here looking for information 24 hours a day, then man, you ain't gonna outwork me when it comes to this stuff, man. So
Yeah.
I'm competitive like that too. So I just want to outwork everybody that I think is doing it. And
Yeah.
so, you know, when we get to the level to where we can really bring in those pieces that I got in the bag and really do that swag stuff, man, and really trend set as far as our page, the pattern, and what we do with it, then I think, man, we headed in the right direction. I think we really gonna step it up a notch in this game, man. We put Danville on the map for real. Like, you know, not just how we got it now, but I'm talking about for real. We known in LA as one of the top brands, and we come out of Danville, Virginia.
Right.
That's my ultimate goal, man.
So the beauty and the struggle of being self-made, you know, is the beauty in it and it's a struggle.
Yeah.
Like I said before, I've seen you can be a brand ambassador, you can be an image consultant. Like what are some of those things that you probably would push for in the near future, or is that something that you probably even thinking about?
As far as me being a brand ambassador.
Brand ambassador, image. I can see these things in you, but I just don't know these are things that
Yeah, man. I'm a businessman. I'm an entrepreneur. And even though I love to do this, I got to set myself up to be the entrepreneur. So,
Right.
Now will I still oversee things? Oh yeah, I'm gonna be the entrepreneur. I'm gonna be the CEO. That's hands on.
Right.
Absolutely. But I'll have other people in those places. I'll have an image consultant. I'll have a photographer.
Yeah.
I'll have a videographer. Like, I'll have those things in place. I'll have somebody who comes in and styles my photo shoots.
Right.
And I'll stand back and I'll just look and
Yeah.
make sure everybody doing what they need to do. And if everything look good, then I'm out. You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go deal with another business. You know, and so that's the type of thing. Like, my mindset is the entrepreneurial mindset, man. Like I don't want to keep having to be the guy or the person that does everything, because, man, then you working yourself to death.
Yeah.
I mean, the goal of running the business is to make the business make you money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, coming into this, even though I love it, the end goal was, man, we got a dope idea, we got a dope product, man. Let's not be scared to put it out there. And we've only been doing it for 4 years. other brands, man, most brands 7, 8, 9, 10 years before they really get that hit. And so I feel like that if we got that type of window, man, golly, we gonna hit hard. You know what I'm saying? Because over the next couple years, people gonna see some major. They gonna see some major changes. They gonna see some major style. They gonna see some major things. Cause I got some little stuff in the works right now. So.
Right. Is there stuff that you can speak on, or you just we are I actually got I have been writing our business plan, and so probably about a month ago I decided to hire a consultant to finish it up for me. Okay.
And so my consultant has it now, and so we're actually gonna go and get some business funding. And so, you know, once we get that business funded, then we talking a different story now. We can really go and play and do what we want to do. I got so many manufacturers that I stay in contact with, from Bangladesh, Pakistan, you know, just different places in general. That does a high quality level of stuff. You know, I got people that work for North Face and Asics, Adidas. You know, so I got some manufacturers, but now when I get that bread, it's gonna be a whole different ball game when it comes to how people speak on vintage duck brand, man. We're gonna go play with the big boys.
Big dog. I was about to say that.
The big boys.
That's a whole different level now.
Yeah, man. We're gonna go play with the big boys.
So, Danville, we have a lot of clothing designers up and coming that are looking to get more developed and more professional with the brand. Mm-hmm. And you all have developed a very professional brand for you all self. So, what advice could you give someone that's looking up to you all and want to follow you all's footsteps?
First thing I can say is is stay true to what you said you was gonna do with the brand in the beginning, because a lot of times a lot of people can start talking to you and stuff like that, and you lose sight of what your vision was when you first started. So you gotta kind of digress and get back to the vision that you had before. And brand and market yourself. You know what I'm saying? You gotta brand yourself. I mean, you know, work your way to being able to have tags inside your shirts. Right. Hang tags on your shirts. Like, all those things matter to a customer, because you can start in one place, but then you're gonna progressively start getting other customers of different levels. Yeah. And so you want to be able to have those customers at different levels. That support your brand, because they see that your brand is fully branded, you know. But it's all a process. I would tell them also, stay in there, because it ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta stay in there. Don't give up on them days when you might want to give up, because that next day may be the day you blow. Yeah. Prematurely quitting the game. The next day might be the day that it all happened for you, and so you got to keep it going. You got to stay down that road. Also, make sure you trying to get a business plan together or a plan together. That's one thing that just as we were going and we were growing, it's like, dang, man, as I learn more and more, it's like, yo, I need to start putting a business plan together, because once we get to that level, you can't keep funneling out your pocket unless you got the bag. You know what I'm saying? And so you just can't keep funneling out your pocket, because the expenses get high. Yeah. Especially when you're trying to brand and market the correct way. Yeah. And so I would tell them, like, the young bucks, y'all start trying to figure out how you can put your business plan together. Because sooner or later you might have some money in that bank, and you might have a good reputation with your bank, credit might be right, and then you might be able to go get you some money to really push your brand if it's really what you want to do. Because, you know, I bet on myself before I bet on anybody else. So if I go get 100,000, I'd rather be on me. Yeah. So to have to make that 100,000 work with my brand, rather than taking 100,000 and giving it to investing in like a stock market or something like that. Yeah. Because you ain't controlling that money. And so that's the thing about what we're doing now is, yeah, do I invest? Yeah, but I invest straight on my 401k. My 401k is money that's coming out of a check that I make anyway. I just take that and just put it into a private account. Right. And so I really don't add my personal money to the stock market. And so I'd rather get my return on investment in something that I have to put the work in, because my return on investment in this is going to be way higher than a little 2% from a high rate savings account, things of that nature. And so I want them to just try to learn business, man. Just try to learn business, man. Just try to learn different approaches to business, and try to get them plans and things like that rolling, man, so that they'll be able to have opportunity a little faster than we did, as far as trying to push the brand out when it's time to really do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So we late on the curve on that, but at the beginning, man, the learning curve is so tough, because I I didn't go to fashion design school. I didn't go to business. I didn't go to the school for business. I didn't go to school for graphic design. I didn't go to school for fashion design. But I put all those hats on and taught myself how to do them. But one thing that I did was I had a sense of can't nobody tell me I can't do this.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so that sense of can't nobody tell me I can't do this overrode anything else.
That's what I'm talking about.
It overrode anything else, man. So it can be done because people have done it. So
exactly.
And it don't matter where you're from. I mean, it can be done because people have done it from places smaller than Danville, Virginia.
That's how I like to look at it too. If somebody can do it, then you can do it too.
Yeah,
it
can be done.
It can be done. Mr. Sean Woods, I want to thank you again for meeting with us.
No doubt, man.
Taking the time out today. Continue to push your brand, man, because even through this interview, through your social media, through you yourself, you speak versatility, adapting, and progressing. And you live through that, and that's something that people gonna take notice, as you keep going. Where can people find you, your work, your Instagram, your social media handles?
So we're at Facebook, Vintage Duck Brand, Instagram at Vintage Duck Brand, and website is www.vintageduckbrand.com.
Y'all definitely go shop with them, man. They definitely a great brand to shop with.